Hello and welcome to this week's Wednesday Waffle. And what am I going to talk about this week? Well, I'm going to give you an update. I'm going to talk about upcoming content and I'm going to waffle. And yeah, from the title, Get Lost, you may have an idea what it's going to be about. So yeah, don't get lost while you're listening to this. Okay, first we'll start with the update. What's happening in the wonderful world of Desmond? Not a lot. We're still locked in, locked down, locked up, locked whatever you want to call it. Tier 4 Plus is the official name for it, as I've said. But we basically can't go out. We do have the ability to go out to exercise, so we could go out, but my head's not letting me. Let's just leave that there for now. Subject for another day, maybe next week. Desmond anyway is in having an MOT. There's a minor he's failed on. That minor was the same last year. It's the door catch, but anyway, he's going to fix it, and I think it's not a door I use except to get in. I get out by the other door, the side door, the main door. Anyway, by the by, so we'll get him back later this week, and hopefully the First Minister of Scotland is going to have something to say about a plan to get us out of lockdown, and we can start thinking about it, at least, if we can't do it. Anyway, moving on, because I'm not getting sidetracked like last week. So yeah, Desmond has got some minor work needing doing on a door catch, and we'll get him back later in the week. So, content, what have we got coming up for you? On Friday, we've got our walkabout in Craigellachie, down by the bridge there. Monday, we'll be focusing on Tomintoul. Not Tomintoul completely, just one of the park ups. There are so many that could be associated with Tomintoul that it would be a couple of hours long video. So it's just the one park up from Tomintoul, just outside the village, and we will be doing the others, but they'll have their own video because each one is more than worth a 10-minute video. Wednesday, I'll be waffling. Thursday is Throwback Thursday. Yes, it's come round already. Short month, February, remember, it's only 4 weeks, 28 days. I know it seems like 288 days, but, And then, on Friday, Cove, in another focus on, and this is the Cove up beside Loch Ewe, where the memorial for the Russian convoys and the fleets that used to assemble at Loch Ewe, and the car park there, which is a superb car park, loads of history, loads of places to wander about and walk. So I hope you enjoy that. Okay, the waffle. Well, what am I going to waffle about? Well, one of the subjects, which I left further away than I thought, is tablets and phones, and more exactly the GPSs that are in them and the apps that use that GPS. I've nothing wrong with them. I use them myself. I use a GPS locator, which gives me my lat long. It gives me Ordnance Survey figures, and it gives me a figure, a reference which pertains to the radio amateur world square that I'm in, and allows people to locate me in the radio amateur world. But I use the GPS figures for various things. I've got Maps.me, which tells me roughly where I am. Maps.me is a superb tool, don't get me wrong. I'm not having a go at any one of these. I use Google Maps. I've mentioned those, Google Maps, Maps.me, all the time, because they are useful tools. I use something called CGO to geocache, and it's a useful tool. But like all GPS, it's subject to outside influences. The main point is a problem I see with a tool called Three Little Words, and how easy three little words can get you lost. But I use a drone, as you've seen, and one of those bits of software allows me to put where I am, or it finds where I am, and it tells me whether I can fly there or not. Bit simplistic. It basically shows me where the red areas around airfields and that, and yellow areas which may be of concern, and NOTAMs and things like that, which may affect my ability to fly in an area, and it works reasonably well, except it's subject to outside influences. The outside influence, if you like, that made me perk up was UAV forecast, which is a weather forecasting thing for drones, and it gives you height information for the wind and all sorts, but it's dependent on your location, and it tells you how many satellites are locked in. One day I had 0. The reason I had 0, there was a military exercise going on in the area using GPS jammers, so I had no GPS to allow this piece of software to work. And of course all the others, Maps.me, etc., couldn't work. They couldn't tell me where I was because the GPS wasn't working. Now you see it on YouTube as well, that some of the software that people use relies on the mobile phone being connected as well. Now I don't. I make sure that the things I use are either enabled for offline. Google Maps can be made offline. You can download maps for the area, etc., etc. So you can do it offline. But you see a lot of people, I can't do this because I'm not got a mobile phone signal, so my location doesn't work. Well, with a GPS it should. You shouldn't need to be online. The major problem you may have is you haven't downloaded offline maps from that point of view. But as I've said just before, it could also be that the GPS is off. Your battery could run out. And now to move on to the specific problem I have with what 3 words. Bow, toe, yaw. Where am I? Come on. Bow can be spelt more than one way. Toe can be spelt more than one way. Yaw, is it Y-O-U-R or you-are? There's another word, you. Is it tree or is it you? There is an element in take 3 words, so what 3 words, sorry, that is going to cause confusion. And with a poor signal, talking to somebody who you're using what 3 words with, you're going to have issues. You're going to have problems. Because you might say, bow, you, your, and they might hear, bow, you, your, but write down 3 different words to the 3 you've got. And it's just that element of bringing things into that that could be confused. That throws me off using 3 little words. What 3 words? See, I get the name. Now I have it on my tablet. It's another location software, but I just can't see me relying on it. One example is it was used, we had the problems at Lockingdorp and our location was given and the guy turned up on the wrong road. Now, there's a road either side of Lockingdorp and he was on the wrong one. Luckily, there was a phone signal that he could phone up and say, "Where are you?" And he said, "We're down there." And he said, "Oh, I know where you are." And down he came and got us. It could have been worse if the confusion had been greater. So we've got confusion, we've got GPS being off, and GPS not being that accurate. Now, for most of our purposes, that's not going to be a problem. Accuracy is close enough for finding a house, finding a street, etc. But if you're relying on it up in the mountains, you could have problems. If you're going along a ridge, for example, which is say 5 metres wide, to be generous, with plus or minus 5 metres on, you can see where that's going to go. So I've heard of a device. Before we go on to the device, I know that works. There's I can highly recommend an app, OS Maps, because the latest version or the latest versions of this map not only allow you access to OS Maps, the Ordnance Survey maps, they, at a cost obviously, they have other things on them, Street Map, OpenStreetMap and those kind of things, which are not as detailed or as accurate as OS Maps can be, but they're still maps. The one problem there is they rely on the battery of your device. So I think you might have guessed where I'm going with this. Yeah, here's a device I can recommend. Works offline, doesn't need batteries, except a torch maybe at night. And that, used with a compass, will get you where you want to go, without the need for your phone, a phone signal, a GPS, etc. Provided, of course, you know how to use it, but that applies to all the apps as well. So I'd show you my compass, but Desmond, he's got it, yeah. So all these modern apps with the GPS work well. I've got nothing against them, but just think they can lead to confusion. Particularly in my mind, what 3 words? The lat long is easy to understand, and these days you don't have to understand minutes and seconds. Lat longs are acceptable in decimal format, which is a number and a decimal number. Minus mean one thing and positive another, up and down, left and right. And it's easy to remember latitude and longitude, which one is which, because longitude, or longitude, sorry, goes along. Longitude. So once you've got that one, you can work out the other one, and you've got a position fix using 2 numbers. Ordnance Survey, grid reference. It's specific to the UK, but other countries will have their equivalent, and do have their equivalent. And the Ordnance Survey location can be very, very accurate. A little bit more complex to work than lat long, in my opinion. But you know, if you can read a map, you can come up with your grid map. And I think that's what I'm trying to say is don't rely on your devices, learn to read maps. Anyway, I've gone on a bit. That was supposed to be last week's topic, and I went on a bit about something completely different. But don't get lost, and stay about with us, watch the upcoming videos, and stay on this one to see some drone footage. Thank you for watching this week's Desmond's Darkness. Please take nothing but memories, leave nothing that tracks. We hope you enjoyed it and you'll join us next time. In the meantime, please think about subscribing.